G'day guys, Matt here from Not in the Manual. Today's video is going to be on protecting your 20-inch induction wheels or your 21-inch Uber turbine wheels. So up to this point, the only option you had to protect your wheels was getting the 19-inch wheels and buying different covers to put on them. Now I did that with my Model 3 for 2 years, and yeah, I'm sort of just a bit sick of the covers, the hubcaps, so I wanted to get some nicer wheels with this Model Y. So I've got the nicer wheels, but you know, the Tesla wheels are susceptible to curb rash. The way it's designed with the rim coming right to the edge of the tyre, there's not much protection there. So if you accidentally sort of rub into a curb, you're going to damage your wheels. So the guys at Magbak came up with a solution for that called RimCase. Now no one else is coming up with a solution for these wheels, so I thought it was pretty cool, and I reviewed their wireless charging mount, and I'll put a link to that video there as well, and pretty impressed with the quality of their product. So I wanted to give this a go, so they sent me a set of these to review, to look at and just see what they were like, and that's what I'm going to do here for you today. So I actually asked them to send me an extra set, and just so I can actually curb it and see how it holds up and actually do a real life test with it. So I think I'm one of the first reviewers to do that or ask for that, so I just want to make sure that yeah, this is a real life sort of test for you guys. And so far I've had a look at the product in the box, and it looks to be really well made, really good quality, and we're just going to have a look and see how it looks aesthetically, and see how it matches with the color of the wheel, and we're going to just have a look at the construction of it. And then I'm going to do an installation video for you and show you how to fit them properly to your wheels. So these covers are actually going to be pretty good for covering up existing damage as well. So if you've already had the car for a while and you've got some curb damage there, this product is going to cover that up. Now for a full set for 4 wheels is $299 US. So it's a little bit expensive, but you break that up per wheel is $75 per wheel. And it's a lot cheaper than trying to have your rim repaired once you've damaged it. And I think it's a pretty good investment when you consider how much those plastic wheel covers were hubcaps for the 19-inch wheels or the 18-inch wheels on the Model 3. It's pretty comparable. They were $200 and something anyway. They vary in price, and that's just a hubcap. You know, this here is still giving you the look. You're still getting the look of the nice mag wheels, with just a bit of protection around the outside. And I think you'll find that it blends in quite well. So when you order a set of these, you can order an additional set for 1 wheel for $39. And I would suggest that you do that at the time, because that's a bit of a bargain price there of $39. So I will have a discount code in the description here for you, and a link to the product that you can use to get it even cheaper. And then some money will come back to the channel as well, that I can put into camera gear and all that sort of stuff, and other accessories. So yeah, let's unbox it and have a look at what you get for the money. Okay, let's do some unboxing. So the packaging here is really nice. You get like that sort of Apple feel of the packaging. So as that comes apart, you get that nice sort of vacuum feel, which just adds to the unboxing experience. We have start off with some really nice instructions here, some really well done, very clear instructions. So this is for my car, which has the 20-inch induction wheels, Tesla Model Y. But you can also buy the rim case for the 21-inch wheels, for the turbine wheels, and also for the turbine wheels on the Model 3 Performance. So we have a detailed list of what should be in the box, so you should probably just check that and make sure it's all there. Then we have, over the page, we have some very detailed instructions, very clear instructions, right to the point. Yep, really easy. You could just use these instructions here. But if you scan this QR code, it will take you to a page that will give you some videos to watch, installation videos. So you could watch that in addition to mine, but I'm going to be running you through those same instructions here today anyway. Then you have these little protection stickers that go in between, they will be sitting in between the segments of the rim case and your wheel, just to provide protection there from any dirt that may get in behind them and sort of rub between the rim case and your wheel, just to stop those little micro abrasions. So we have these ones here which fit around the spoke sections for the thinner sections of the rim case. And then we also have these bigger sections which sit in between the spokes, and you can see the cutout there for the valve stem on that one. And these are the larger sections there in between the spokes. We have some alcohol cleaning wipes for cleaning the wheels down to make sure everything adheres properly. Then here we have all the segments. So we'll just take a look at that. Now, I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, I could just print that on my 3D printer for a couple of dollars, but you are not going to get something as nicely finished as this on a 3D printer. You know, this is, I believe it is ABS plastic, molded plastic. It feels a lot sturdier than you think. You really need to have a hold of it here. So it starts off thin and flexible down here for where it clips onto your wheel. But then if you look at the cross section there, you can see it gets thicker and thicker as it comes up. And that section there is so strong. I'm really struggling to bend and flex that there. And so it's really critical that that is a strong area. That is what is going to be taking the brunt of the force when you curb the wheel. So the idea is not to curb it, but this just gives you that protection for your wheels if you do. Now remember, curbing force is going to come down on at a sort of a glancing angle and glance off here. So that thickness there is just adequate, that it's not too thick that these are going to be super obvious once they're installed on the wheels, but it is thick enough to give you some protection there and make this a very rigid, segmented piece. So what actually happens is these pieces overlap. They've been really well designed, so they've considered the finish of this product. It's nice. It's a very similar finish and texture to the actual wheels themselves, and we'll see that when we do the install. We'll have a look on the back here as well. So we also have some 3M tape. We've got the 3M, what's it called, VHB tape. Now I've had that on a lot of different accessories, and it's a very good quality tape. This works there just as an additional security thing to just make sure these are secured onto the wheel. Even though this hook-in section is quite adequate, that's just there just extra, give you extra peace of mind to stop, just make sure these don't come off. So yeah, let's get into the install. I'm keen to get these onto the wheel. All right, first thing we need to do is just give the wheels a clean down, just to make sure they're free of any dirt, oils, anything that's going to stop the little protection stickers sticking to the wheels. So my wheels at the moment have still got whatever polish was on them when Tesla was pre-delivering the car. So you can see there's also a bit of dust too. So I've got a big microfiber cloth. Instead of using those little wipes that came with the rim case in the box there, I'm just going to use a bigger microfiber towel, and it's going to just make this a much quicker job. Okay, we're just going to start with these spoke sections. So here, peel one of them off. And what we want to do is end up with it offset to the right, a little bit of that spoke. So lining up the left-hand side with there, and then getting it so that the slits are towards the outside. So the start of the slits there with the edge of the rim. So you don't need to be super accurate with this. Just like that, you can see it's offset to the right a little bit, so it has a bit of a bias towards the right-hand side. These little air bubbles aren't really going to matter. And then we just fold those little pieces onto the outside of the rim there. So you can see that's the first one done there. And then we'll do one of the in between sections. So we want to position that into the middle there. Just tack that outside edge down first to make sure it's aligned. That all looks pretty good. So once again, these bubbles aren't really going to matter too much, but try and squeeze out as much of it as you can. This is all going to be covered up by the segments. And then fold those little edges over at the back. Okay, that's the spoke piece and the gap piece done. So yeah, we'll just time lapse the rest and then we'll start clipping on the segments. Okay, so that's all the protective stickers fitted. Now you need to just make sure they overlap. A couple of them here have got a tiny little gap there, but the majority of them are overlapping. And that's just going to provide you all good all-round protection. So you can see, a bit messy. All those years of practice fitting phone screen protectors didn't help. But yeah, it's going to serve its purpose anyway and protect the wheels. And they are very easily removed afterwards anyway if you decide that you need to replace them. And it's quite easily to sort of peel it back and fix up. So you just don't want any big creases in it that are going to create a large raised section. I think just, yeah, don't worry about these tiny little air bubbles there. So what we want to do now that we've got these protective stickers on is just give them another quick wipe over with the isopropyl alcohol wipes, just to make sure that where these segments are going to be sticking on just have got a nice clean surface to stick to, free of oils and things. So, you know, there's a bit of tyre shine on these tyres. You can see that's sort of come off onto my fingers, and I don't want that to stop the segment sticking. So yeah, we just gave that a wipe over. We'll just let that dry for a second and then we'll stick some segments on. Okay, so we're going to start with the valve stem segment and work our way around clockwise, clipping it in. So we want to clip in this bottom edge first and then push along and clip into the top outer edge of the rim. So we'll just peel this protective 3M tape off. Okay, so we'll clip that bottom edge in first. You need to tilt it in on a bit of an angle, pushing up here, and then clipping that in place like so. Then we'll move on to the next segment, peeling off the backing tape. Another handy little tip is just to feel behind here and make sure you can feel the tabs from the back, that you haven't crushed them, that it has actually hooked in properly. So I had this first one here, I realized that one of these little corner ones here hadn't clipped in properly. So I've just made sure of that now. So you shouldn't be able to pull this bottom section outwards. If you can, it means you've just crushed, you haven't clipped it in properly into the wheel. So they're all nice and secure there now. Let's just time lapse the rest of the wheel. Okay, so once you get to this last one here, you need this little removing tool that comes with the kit to lever this one off to make room for this last piece to clip in. So maneuver this last piece in place Then take the tool, unclip that one and tuck it underneath. Nice and neat like that. So that's all of this wheel done here. So let's take a look. Okay, so they're all done. That's all nice and solid. Now just go around and make sure that all those sections, you can pull on them and they're clipped in place properly. And they, you know, that was the hard part. Just, it was a little fiddly, but I think once it's done, you can't hide the fact that there is something on there. But as long as you make sure, go around to all these little seams here and just make sure that they're all nicely clipped in and flush. I actually don't mind it. I think it looks like it's a part of the wheel. You're not going to hide that there is a ridge line there. The color match is pretty good. I think it's just a little bit hard in different lighting. So we'll just walk around and have a bit of a look, but I actually quite like the look of it. It makes your rim actually look a little bit bigger. I might just do a shot now of with and without, and then a back view, just having a look at the wheels together on the car. So I haven't done the front wheel yet, so we'll compare the two. So looking from back here, you can see that front wheel doesn't have the rim case on it, and the rear one does. And I think it just makes that wheel look a bit bigger. Almost makes it look like it's a 21-inch wheel. So yeah, looking, color match from back there is actually spot on. And it's only when you get really close here that you can actually see that there are some plastic rim case segments on there. So yeah, overall, I think once they weather a little bit with the wheel, you're really not going to be able to see them on there. As I said before, you're not going to be able to hide the fact that there is a rim case on there, but I don't think it looks bad at all. I think it looks quite good, and you know, just knowing I've got that peace of mind of some protection in place there, I think it actually looks quite good. So if we compare that to the one without the rim case, I mean, either wheel looks quite good, but I don't really think that that's doing it any harm at all. It actually looks quite good to me. You can see the color match is pretty good. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just go and finish the other wheels. Now, each wheel is probably going to take you about half an hour or so. It's just a little bit fiddly putting on the protection underneath the segments. But once that's done, yeah, clipping the segments on didn't take long at all. But I think it's worth it just to protect your wheels. Now you can see here, I wasn't that accurate with the tape. So I'm just going to get a little razor blade and slice them out of the way. That'll be pretty easy to do without hurting anything. But yeah, I'm just going to have to be a bit more careful. And you can see in these sections here, I just didn't have that tape up high enough. So this wheel here is going to be my test one that I'm going to curb into the gutter. So I may end up redoing this wheel anyway. So that's not a big deal, but I will take a bit more care when I put the protection tape on the other wheels. Okay, so let's have a look at the results. So the rim case they have come unclipped, but my rim is actually not damaged at all. So there is no damage to the rims, and you know, really I think they have served their purpose. So this is why I asked for another set. But I ended up being a bit more heavy-handed than I'd planned on being, but that gives it quite a good test. You can see here, I'm only going to need to probably replace, you know, 3 of those here. So really, if you get yourself an extra set, it could probably cover you for a couple of curbing events like this. But I mean, that was it's a bit hard to do a controlled test with this, but you can see it did what it was supposed to do. I felt the car was curbing and I was able to be notified of that, and you know, obviously I could have damaged my rims if I had kept going and had a couple of goes at it, but I think it's pretty obvious that I was curbing it. I could really feel that in the car, and yeah, they've done their job. I'm pretty happy with that. So you can see here, there's probably what, 4 of these I'd need to replace, but you can see there that the actual rim case itself, this one is a little bit damaged at the edge there, but I mean, you could probably, if you really wanted to, just clean them up and yeah, just get another life out of them. But yeah, probably just this one would definitely need to be replaced, but pretty happy with that. I mean, I curbed my wheel covers on the Model 3 and yeah, pretty much the same sort of damage, and they were sort of cracked and broken. But yeah, you can just, you know, the extra set of these for $39 I think is money well spent. And I mean, obviously the aim is not to do that regularly, but that just shows you there, that was a pretty brutal test. So we'll you know, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so you can see I've just taken off the damaged pieces, and there is not a mark on my rim at all. So it did a fantastic job of protecting my rim. I've got the damaged pieces that I've taken off. You know, I'd probably, yeah, four pieces need to be replaced. So I've got another kit here. So, you know, that would probably last a few repairs, and no problem. Yeah, easy. So yeah, just in conclusion, guys, I'm pretty happy with the rim case. I'm happy with how it looks. You know, it really blends in there with the wheel. It's a very similar finish to the wheels themselves. Looks like a real original finish. And you can see there by that brutal test I did that it is going to protect your wheels in the event of something like that happening. Obviously, I went a bit heavy-handed with that, but I really only had one shot at that test. But I think your curbing there, I really sort of hit that twice. Curbing, you know, you do feel it, you do notice straight away, it rumbles through the car. If I had have stopped at that initial curbing there, it may not have been as bad as it was, but you saw there it did what it was designed to do. It protected the wheel, and now I don't have to spend money fixing that wheel up. And these are also going to cover up any existing damage that you might have. So I'm pretty impressed, guys. I think it's worth the money if it's going to save your wheels there, and I think you still keep that original look of the wheels, and I think it makes the wheels look slightly bigger as well, and I think it just really doesn't harm the aesthetics of the wheel at all. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed, guys. Yeah, I know it's a fair bit of money, but it's going to be a lot cheaper than fixing your wheels after an event like that. Now, I know it's not going to be for everyone, but we're not all perfect drivers. Even though you might think you are, you may end up lending your car to someone. And I think if you were, you had a Turo or an EV car that you're hiring out to someone, and you've got these wheels on there, I think it would be a must. You wouldn't have to then go and get the wheels repaired and have some downtime from hiring the car out. You could simply just put another set of the rim cases on there and keep the car hired out. So yeah, I think it's a good little insurance policy to protect your wheels. So guys, hopefully that illustrated there the benefit of the Magbak RimCase. So don't forget that if you are going to buy a pair, use my discount code, and that will get you a discount off these as well. So I'll put the details there, and yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I enjoyed making it, and yeah, got to actually crash and break something, so that was fun. So guys, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next video.